Hey guys, Gosei here. Welcome back to another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing both the DX Geo Korin and the DX Decade Sekai Ryokoki Wonder Ride book. Now, both of these items are the first items to be released in the Legend Rider lineup for this year. And basically, what they're doing with it for this year is that they're basically making story titles for our characters. For the characters, but the titles are based on key components in their shows. And both of these roughly translate to Geo Advent Calendar and Decade World Travels or World Picture Book, from what I researched on. Now, these are the only ones that I have currently in my collection because honestly, I don't really like the Legend Rider gimmick as of right now. But I do really want to get the Wizard, Forza, and Gaim because those are my favorite seasons. So are these guys. But yeah, like with all my other Saber stuff currently, I picked both of these up at Tokullectibles. If you guys want to go ahead and pick them up for yourselves, I'll leave a link in the description for their KamenRider Saber page, and I will also leave a link in the description for both of these guys' individual pages in case you want Geo but you don't want Decay, and if you want Decay but you don't want Geo. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a double review today. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these guys, and then we'll take a look at the other, and we'll just go from there. So basically how we're doing the Legend Rider Wonder Ride books is that the initial cover is based on a color from the base rider suit, and the spine is in this gold color. Well, not really gold per se, because here is this gold next to Lampstol Anangina's gold. As you can see, the shading is a lot lighter than Lampstol Anangina. But yeah, like the cover and the back, but the covers are the color for the rider, and the rest is just in this Captain Crunch yellow. There's literally no going around this. It's Captain Crunch. They literally made the Legend Rider gimmick colors the same color as a breakfast food. I wish I was making this up. It's real. It's there. I am sorry. That will never happen again. But anyway, so yeah, basically, like I mentioned, the covers are actually based on the color of the certain rider, magenta for Decade here. And getting a little closer look here at the cover image, we do have Decade Sekai Ryokoki. And another thing that I noticed in the title here is that there's actually the little mini worlds in the text. And that's actually really cool and really interesting because it actually does add a little bit more to it, because technically going through worlds is his story. That's Decade's so-called story, because in canon he doesn't have one. Saber text, we do get Decade Sekai Ryokoki. In the center here, we have Decade holding his signature camera. His eyes are lighting up with green there. Basic body here. KamenRider third book slot, because this is actually based on a rider, not like any form of mythical creature or animal. And of course, in the background here, as you can see, we got the 9 worlds. This being Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den, Kiba, so on and so forth. They did not include the other worlds that were seen in Decade's show. The other worlds being the Super Sentai world, which was Shikenger, AR Amazon world, and the War Tyson world, as well as Decade's main world. But hey, beggars can't really be choosers here. So, yeah. Anyway, so enough rambling. Opening up the book, we do get a really nice picture here of Decade's rider symbol right there, and the nice neon magenta 543145, which both add up to 10, as well as on the green and blue background. The only other Legend Rider that I know of that has this same detailing here is probably Xai's, but again, I'm not interested in picking up that book. And another interesting thing that I did find out while looking at original reviews for these guys before I picked them up was that if you look here, you actually do get to see in the Saber language the rider's catchphrase as well as the Henshin phrases from their drivers. So I don't know how well you can see that, but that says KamenRider, and that says DDDDcade. And right here we actually do have his catchphrase, which is Torisugami no KamenRider da omoidoke. I think that's a really interesting detail. It definitely adds a lot more to the Wonder Ride books as a whole, because they could have just gone with the blank color, but no, they went above and beyond and went with the Henshin phrases and tunes, as well as the catchphrases for all of the riders, which is really interesting as well. But yeah, anyway, so closing it back up and hitting the button, we do get some sounds, so let's do that. Really reminiscent of the original Deca Driver sounds. Opening it up, we do get our synopsis. And there you go. Now let's go ahead and bring in the Seikon Sword Driver and check out the sounds. So here we have the Seikon Sword Driver and the Nagara emblem because, again, I prefer blades a little bit more than I prefer Saber in terms of forms and everything, and plus I really like the design of the Nagara emblem with the sword. So yeah, this time around we're doing the Nagara emblem rather than the Rekka emblem. So yeah, like I said earlier, this is a third book slot because this is based on a rider's story rather than any animal or creature. So it's going to go in the third slot, and you will get different sounds than the standard Wonder Ride books. So let's go ahead and drop it in. A nice, bright pink light, and it's actually pulsing. I don't know how well you're picking that up on camera, but yeah, it's pulsing. Like, that is really cool. But yeah, as you can see, that was a lot to take in because it was both the Legend Rider sound as well as a bunch of other sounds and phrases and such. At first, I thought this was like a Legend of Zelda sort of thing where it's like the da-na-na-na-na-na, but getting a second hearing of that, that's the original KamenRider theme song for the Legend Rider books. And, like, this is, like, my major concern is because if they're doing that, then why can't they do it for the show era? But regardless, the fact that they added that tidbit in and we're already in the 45th anniversary for the show, that is amazing in of itself. So, yeah, that's cool. But let's go ahead and take a look at the opening text page. And as you can see, we get, we don't really have a lot to offer here in terms of Henshin pages, but we do get a really nice picture of Decade here, with the green eyes and the overall just suit and the barcodes. And if I'm also not mistaken, I think this is taken from the Gamba Rising video game sprites, because on most of these you could definitely see these were taken from the video game rather than the actual suit actors, or the suits, I mean. But yeah, on the Henshin page, on the main Henshin page here, you see the overall just face of the rider, and on the second page, you get the sword that they use because Saber. Anyway, so you get the sword that they use, as well as the items that are used with that said sword. So, for instance, we have the Ride Booker in sword mode, and the common thing that the rider uses with the sword. That is the Wonder. I mean, that is not the Wonder Ride Book. The Attack Ride card for Slash. And overall, just some really nice back detailing as well, and the nice blue and purples. My only complaint with this is that it's a textbook. They literally made the Legend Rider gimmicks textbooks. I mean, it's a nice direction, yeah, but I just wish there was a little bit more going on with the main page. I mean, all of this is nice. It's really nice. It's nice to look at and everything, but I just wish there was a lot more going on, you know? But, yeah. Overall, nothing much else to say. So let's go ahead and get down to the Hisatsus and talk about Gyo. So here we have the Gyo Kamenriderzio, or the Gyo Advent Calendar Wonder Ride book. Now, the overall book itself, for the cover page at least, that's more or less based on the Advent Calendar for the demonic overlord that was used in the show often by Woz. And as you can see right here on the main picture, you can see the background detailing is actually based on that said book. The only thing that changes is the fact that Gyo's name is written in English, while the rest is just written in katakana. You can see right here, Gyo Kamenriderzio. And on the front here, we have Gyo doing his signature pose, the standard just finger like that. As you can see, really nice detailing there, as well as just the third book slot, because this is technically based on a rider, no creature or animal. KamenRider, really nice intricate detailing, and I do like the shade of blue that they went with. It's a really nice, it's metallic. I want to say it's more or less on the lines of like indigo. I think this is a really nice touch because they could have gone with a black or gray or white, or like a darker shade of pink like they did with Decade and Magenta. But for comparison, though, here it is with Tenku no Pegasus. As you can see, the navy blue is actually a lot lighter than Pegasus here. And yes, this review is coming. But yeah, you can see really nice colors of the Wonder Ride book right there. Nothing much else to write home about. So yeah, opening it up, we do get Gyo's symbol, the NXD, or the Kamen in KamenRider. Nice blue and black detailing there with some nice purple. And as you can see, we also do have Rider Time, Nanka Kikiru Gosei, Whatever Seikon Saizen no Maui Naru. Overall, just everything that describes Gyo on the main page here. So, hitting the button again, we do get some sounds, so let's do that. I love that sound. I really do, because it's just so fun to hear. Anyway, so, opening up, we do get the synopsis. Now let's go ahead and bring in the sword driver and check out the sounds that we get with this Wonder Ride book. As you can see, nothing really changed much for the name of the rider. Well, nothing really changed much for the overall blade part for the Henshin, except for probably the announcement for the rider, which was Gyo. except it sounded a lot more like the actual Giga driver was saying it rather than the Seikon Sword driver's voice actors, which was a nice touch because Geo is more of it. It has a lot of unique traits to it when it comes to the driver sounds. So yeah, moving in on the history page, as you can see, we got Geo doing his pose again. Really nice picture here. I really do love the overall just picture of it with the compound eyes there. And as you can see, we also do have Geo's sword, the Jikangired, and the item that he uses with the Jikangired, which is the Geo Saikyo Gired, which is a little bit weird because I know that he used both the Saikyo Gired with the Jikangired, but I'm surprised that they didn't include the Ride Watch because technically this is a roleplay item that uses the power of the Ride Watches. But hey, I'm not really going to complain because these two are a wombo combo in that form, at least. But yeah, overall, just really nice picture. Second verse name is the first with Decades, Wonder Ride book, and everything. So yeah, not really much to say. So let's just get down to the Hisatsus and everything else that comes with it. Now, normally I would just end the video there and go straight to the final verdict, but technically you can do the 2 volumes for these guys, because technically it doesn't really change anything except for saying that it's Legend Riders. So, yeah, we technically can do the volume 2 form here. So let's go ahead and do that. First, we're going to put in Decade. And then GO. And now, it's 20 years of Legend Riders. Now, overall, I think the Legend Rider gimmick is okay for this year. It's definitely a lot more interesting than the Progrise keys, but it's definitely not as interesting as the Ride Watch gimmick that we had the year before 01. But overall, I just think that this year's Legend Rider gimmick is okay at best. I wish there was a lot more compatibility with it, with the Sword Driver. I know that the Legend Rider sounds are great and all, but I just wish that they had a lot more going out for it, like the standard Winter Ride books. But yeah, overall though, I think both of these are a fine start to the Legend Rider gimmick, because as of last year, these two are always going to be the first ones to be released because they're both Legend Riders and they're both represent 10 years, or at least a decade of both of their respective eras, or of their respective eras. But overall, though, I think that these guys are definitely a fine addition to a collection. Personally, I'm not really going to collect all of the Legend Rider Wonder Ride books. Probably just the ones that I like, such as Forze, Wizard, and Gaim. But if you guys want to pick up these guys, like I said before, I'll leave a link in the description for Tokullectibles, for the Wonder Ride books page, as well as these guys separately as well. And if you guys also do want to check out other websites, I would highly recommend you check out Image Anime because they definitely have a lot more variety and a lot of better pricing than most websites. And recently I did do an order for them, getting the Gates Revive Ride Watch not too long ago, and they said that they were doing a stay-at-home sale, and basically if you spend up $50 or more on collectible items, you get free shipping. So if you guys want to check out Image Anime, they do have a fine selection of KamenRider items, even though that most of the older stuff is sold out at this point. But they do have a fine selection of Geo stuff, 01 stuff, as well as Saber stuff. So if you guys missed anything from the Geo line or the 01 line that you need to get, I would highly recommend checking them out because they do have great shipping rate, as well as a bunch of other things. But yeah, overall though, if you guys like this video, feel free to drop a like and leave a comment on what do you think I should review next when I'm done with all my Saber videos for the month. And overall, just thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. And next time, let's get a little bit mythical with